Presenting Channeling Erik's Hour of Enlightenment.
Welcome one and welcome all. Hi everybody, Erik's Hour of Enlightenment. So happy to have you here. Elisa is here. It's me, Michelle Gray. Surprise, surprise, we're having technical difficulties. Who
I hate
would have
blog
known?
talk. Can you hear me now?
No kidding.
It's pathetic. I have to freaking use my cell phone to make this thing work. So I am so
That's crazy.
I've been through
Well,
worse.
I'm glad you're here.
Thank you. I'm glad you are. How's your eye?
Oh, it's a lot better. It's actually, my husband has been really sick over the past couple of weeks, and I think it's a little stress related. And I got a really big sty in my eye, and it just got a little bit out of control. And it looks a lot better today, and feels a lot better. So I'm on the mend,
good.
but yeah,
wet warm compresses, they work.
Yes, they certainly do. Actually, yesterday was a lot of tea bags.
Oh, good. That's great. All right.
Yes.
Okay, what are we going to talk about today? Here's what. As a collective, many of us are releasing energy blockages in this part of our body. Erik explains, baby, you're going to explain what, why, and how we can help it. And why is this occurring anyway? Is this a special thing that's going on that we are releasing energy blockages more than we did before? So, Erik, what gives?
So first of all, he says, "Hi, Mama." He's like, "I love you." But I love you so much.
I love you more. I love you more. I told you that all day today when I was taking a little break.
Yes, he says, and he laps it right up. He loves it, and he's just got so much love for you.
Oh, of course.
He's saying hi everybody. He's like, he's really happy to be here. Says, I'm always happy to be here. He's very excited to talk tonight, and I so enjoy when Erik and I sit together or whoever we have on, and we kind of do a powwow of, what are we going to talk about? What are we going to speak about? And he actually brought up something because of what many people that I've been connected to, and I'm sure a lot of people that are healers and are aware of what's happening in the body lately with energy are coming up with the same types of things. But Erik said that we are releasing many energetic blockages, and the one that he brought forward that is, he says it's like the pinnacle. He says this is like the major system. He says is the lymphatic system. That is where we're carrying a lot of blockages, and he says that it's, and I didn't realize this, but he says it's connected to the sacral chakra, and that's where we carry our emotions and our feelings. And he says the reason why it's a common blockage is because it has to do with flow of level, and we talk about it on an individual level. He says all of the change, the uncertainty. He says a lot of the unknowns that are ahead of us, he says a lot of us are learning and practicing to be able to flow in our life. And he says that the lymphatic system is like the river in our body. So he says it keeps us clean. He says that if we envision it, so to imagine, he says, imagine inside your body lots of rivers and streams. And he says that's where it's carrying and clearing all of our toxins. It's like the information system, he said. And the information system is where our emotional energy is read and carried. So that's why he says it's connected to the sacral chakra. So when we have emotions, when we have, say, he says it's anger and worry are one of the biggest ones. And he says, so when we hold on to that energy, and the sacral chakra is when that becomes blocked, that's often because there's not a release that's taking place in a healthy way. So it holds on to that stagnant energy. And so he says,
like
think of, what's that, sorry?
It's like trapped emotions, basically.
Yes. But he says that the information system, so he says like the lymphatic system's like the police station in your body. But he says, think of it as if your emotions, so like say anger and worry, would be like, he's showing like tires and bicycles being thrown into the stream, like into the river. So it's clogging up your beautiful stream. It's like throwing garbage in your river. So he says that that's, and what happens is when we, to recognize that we have a clogged system, is he says we're not going to be filtering our toxins very well. We're going to have problems with our stomach. We're going to have problems with our skin. We're going to have fatigue. He says, and that's also, we might start noticing lumps, bumps, eruptions, all kinds of things that are happening across our body. And he says that, like, yes, sadness and all of those things are all part of it, but he says primarily it's he's calling them the high energy charged emotions. So anger and stress are very high charged. And he says, so think about when we talk about cortisol and where's that carried in most people when they have a lot of stress, or anger is carried in the stomach area, around that. That's where
our belly fat gets. That's why our belly fat grows. We get these spare tires if we've lived a life of stress. So stress is related to worry and anger. There's so many facets of anger, resentment, all that kind of stuff. So
yes. And he just said, he goes, yeah, Mom, there's those tires, the spare tire. Mm-hmm. He goes, like the tires thrown in the river. That's exactly it. So, but he says that, it's coming to a head right now because we are cleaning, we are clearing. And so, many of us notice, and I know, Elisa, with all the work that you're doing, you're noticing a lot of things that are trapped in people's bodies as healers, right? Like we see these themes and these cycles and these things that are coming up. And he says, well, it's happening more and more because we're being pushed into a higher vibration or a less dense vibration. So what's trapped within the body no longer fits with this new energy. So, many of us are experiencing these symptoms and a lot of these, physical illnesses and things that are coming up. And it's like, well, why now? Why now? Why is this all happening right now? And Erik says, because it's time. It's time for us to step up our game. It's time for us to pay attention. He says, police station is ringing. It's telling you there's something going on here. He goes, it's not the time that we can ignore this anymore. We can no longer ignore what we're being shown. We can no longer, pass by and skip it. We have to start paying more attention to these things because as we continue to go forward, without having our systems clear, it's going to be a lot more difficult for all of us. So,
well, as a doctor, I can agree that the lymph system is the police because it's got all the antibodies and T cells and B cells and killer T cells and it fights off things, protects things. So if you have energetic blockages affecting the lymph system, then I can imagine you're going to get sick easier too with things that the antibodies and B lymphocytes and T lymphocytes, et cetera, would normally fight. Yes,
and he says, Mom, he goes, thank you. He goes, thank you for mentioning that because he goes, I was just about to touch on that. He says, and that affects the immune system. And he says, and what have we been dealing with as a collective? He says, it's the immune system. When we've been looking at picking up on anything, any illnesses, He says it's our immune system that we need to protect and strengthen. So this is all connected. So he says, well, the next thing, he goes, understanding all of this, he says, so he goes, what can we do about it? So how do we help ourselves?
Yeah.
He says, well, first and foremost, he says, if you're experiencing any issues with your immune system, if you have any alarms going off, he says you want to get that looked at right away. He says you also want to start to pay attention to the flow of your body. What are you feeding your body? What's going in your body? So he goes, there's different elements. It's the physical, it's the emotional. How are you expressing yourself? Are you holding on to anger? Are you holding on to worry? Are there healthier ways? And he says, and remember, he goes, this is the process. So if you're holding in your emotions, is there a healthier way that you can do this? And he says a great thing for the lymphatic system, for our immune system overall as well, is exercise. So he says move.
Oh, yeah.
Because we want to get things moving. And he says, and many of us also, over the period of having COVID, a lot of us started to stay inside more, or we're working from home. We're not moving around quite as much. Maybe for those that didn't, walk outside or weren't able to due to weather or what have you, weren't able to go to gyms. So he says, like a lot of us are recovering in many different ways. He says there's a joke going around. He says it's not the freshman 20, it was like the COVID 20, that people that had gained a little weight over that period of time because, we were going through something. He goes, there was depression, there was more eating. He says all kinds of things that affected our body. So he says movement, yoga, he says, is another thing that's really good because that really helps us move the body. He also says, of course, walking, but he also says breathing, because breathing, it connects to the oxygen in the body.
Oh,
the
yeah.
oxygenation.
Right.
And he says, so breathing, and he says, think about when you're angry. He goes, when you get really angry, he says, what do we often do? We hold our breath. We maybe raise our voice and we hold our breath and we clench our fists and we clench our neck. And he says, if you pay attention to somebody who's really angry or upset, he says that's like holding everything in, and so there's no flow taking place. So he says really pay attention to what your posture is. Pay attention to your breathing. Allow yourself, open up your chest, he says. Put your shoulders back. Open up your chest.
People don't do that. I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty of that. I slump my shoulders forward, and it really causes, used to anyway, some shoulder pain and neck pain. And that's very common to women for some reason.
Yes. Yes. Me too. So, and he says, acupuncture, he says, any other alternative modalities, he says, and he goes, like, guys, he goes, connect to what you enjoy to do. So if movement in your body is going out to your garden and it's giving you an opportunity to move around, to move up and down, if it's golfing, if it's walking your dog, he goes, do what you can do. Do the activity. He goes, if you're not mobile, he says, can you sit down? And he's actually showing, like they've got these, my dad has one, and he's in a wheelchair, and it's like this little pedal system that you can put on the floor, and you just kind of pedal, which is really good for the lymphatic system. And so he says, like, what can you do? Get creative if you don't have that. He goes, can you do something else? Can you just put your leg in a bicycle motion one at a time? Can you have a pillow and just kind of push off of it? What can you do for your body to help move it? And one other thing he's showing me too is, what do they call it, Erik? Dry brushing.
What is that?
Using the, so he says you can actually use a brush, they have special brushes for them, and they're kind of like, I don't know why it looks like a horse brush to me, but it kind of looks like that. But they have paddles as well that look like those big nail files, And dry brushing is you take like the brush or the wooden paddle on your skin, and you move the fluid on your body up toward, like, so let's say you're working on your legs. And I know this because after having chemotherapy, after having a mastectomy and having my lymph nodes removed on one side, I had problems starting with lymphedema on one side of my body. And dry brushing is something that I do on a regular basis to move the fluid. So it's nice. Just kind of like rub it along your arm and up towards the heart. And again, like hard? With the leg, up towards the heart. What's that?
Do you have to press hard?
Is it hard?
Do you have to press down hard with the brush?
No, not too hard. Not too hard. Enough that you're just kind of, like, you don't want to injure yourself. You know, enough that you're just kind of, enough that there's a bit of pressure. So think of it as, you know, you're applying enough pressure that you can feel it, but you're not going too hard that you're rubbing against your skin or doing
like
any damage to your skin.
Kind of like when you brush your hair.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it really helps the flow in your body. But Erik also says because the energy center that's connected to this is the sacral chakra, he says that many of us are experiencing imbalance in the sacral chakra. So expression, he says, the thing that helps us keep that balanced is expression. And he says a great way to express, and when we have emotions, he says we may not always know how to fix what we feel. And he goes, and we don't need to fix it. We want to flow with it. So he says it's embracing how we feel, and don't feel you need to make it go away. You don't need to fix it. You don't need to figure it all out. He says what you do is you understand that emotion, you want to flow with it, and you want to allow it to flow through you. And how can you flow with it? He says use creativity, use art. Your sacral chakra is your creative energy. He says we are creators. That is what we are. We are creators, and so we are energetic beings. Yeah,
and that
right.
is creativity. Yeah.
So he says,
cool.
Express your feelings. He says, artwork, painting, writing, any kind of crafting, creative outlet, anything, singing. He says music. Music is awesome to help express that. And one other thing he's saying, too, is he says practice getting comfortable with the uncomfortable. Allow yourself to get comfortable. Like he says, so if something feels uncomfortable, he says if it makes you feel vulnerable, he says, ask yourself, you know, is this feeling making me feel vulnerable? Does it make me seem like I'm exposing myself? He goes, because chances are it's you that feels that you're exposing, but other people aren't seeing it the way you're seeing it. So he says, can you sit with that emotion? Can you flow with it? Can you allow it to move through you rather than being in resistance to it? Because he says it won't stay. Nothing is permanent. So you're not going to be that way forever. And he says, so when you allow it to flow, you'll feel better. He says there's always going to be a light on the other side of the tunnel, always. And the one last thing he's saying that is valuable for all of us to remember is he says, guys, he's like, listen up, because he says you're all leaders. You are all leaders. Every single one of you listening to this are leaders. And do you know what it is that you lead first and foremost every single day? He says your mind, your body listens to you all day long. And he says, so tell your system, thank you for doing such a good job. Thank you for operating so beautifully for me. Thank you for flowing. He goes, tell that system, today I would love for you to carry through anything in my body that I do not need and to pass that on through and remove it. Thank you for working so beautifully for me. He says your leaders and our system, our cells hear us. they're intelligent, and they follow our direction. So he says that we can heal ourselves. And he says, so do that on a regular basis. He goes, allow yourself, play with it for a week and see how great you feel.
I agree with that. And it doesn't hurt to ask. Ask your guardian angel. Ask your guides for help.
Yes.
Ask your healing team for help.
Yes.
And they will help you.
Erik says, yes, Mom, yes.
Ask Erik for help.
Yeah, yes. Erik goes, I'm here. He goes, guys, he goes, there's some of you, too, that think, oh, gee, I don't want to ask Erik because he's really busy, and why would he come to me? And he goes, I'm here to tell you. He says, you're here listening. I'm here for you. 100%. Yeah. He says, all you need to do is ask. And he says, and I'm here to help you. I'm here to guide you, to love you, to care for you, and to be your friend. So he says, all you have to do is ask. And he's like, besides, I've got this really great trick up my sleeve that I can be many different places at one time, so don't worry about me.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. All right, anything else you want to say, sweetie, before we take callers? That was excellent.
He says, no, Mom, I think that pretty much covers that. He says, I'm ready to take some callers, and I am too.
Okay. Thank you. All right, we got somebody from the 412 area code. Hi there, how you doing?
Hi, my name is Lori. I'm from Pittsburgh.
Yes, hi, Lori.
Hi.
Hi, Lori.
Hi. I lost my son about a month ago to leukemia, and his name is Jacob, and I was wondering if there was a message from him.
Jacob, okay.
Yeah.
Oh. Was Jacob like around 12 years old?
No, he was 20 when he passed.
Was 20?
Yes.
Boy, around 12 years old. And I don't know if something did he start to get sick around that time, or did something happen around that time?
He started getting sick when he was 17.
Oh, when he was 17. Okay.
Yes.
Maybe he wasn't present himself as his 12-year-old self to his mama.
Well, and I'll tell you, Lori, he's coming through as a younger boy.
Okay.
And he's coming through with a lot of innocence. The first thing that he's just saying is that he had a little trouble letting go. He wants to let you know that he's okay.
Yeah. He's okay.
He's fine, but he's just saying he had a little trouble letting go. And he's also letting you know that he knows that you're having a hard time.
I am.
He's got a dog on a leash with him. Is his dog with you? Do you have a dog?
Before Jacob, like a couple years ago.
Okay.
Yes.
Because he's got a dog on a leash, but he's also connecting the dog to you. Like this dog must have been your dog, or really followed you.
Yeah.
Because he's letting you know that he's in care of the dog. Like I'm here, like walking the dog.
Okay.
And he's also saying, Mom, please eat. Please eat.
Okay.
So Erik will having a hard time getting food down and eating regularly, but he's looking at your body and he's saying to please eat, please give yourself like some nourishment, some food. He says to keep your strength up. He's also just saying that it's not your imagination as well, because he pops little ideas inside your head. He gives you ideas, and there's he does, and he's also saying it's either a theme song from a show, from something that you watched, or some music. And he's giving that directly to you, saying that's me. I'm giving that to you, Mom. It's not your imagination.
Okay. Can he tell me if he's with family? He's not by himself?
He says he's definitely not by himself.
Okay.
There's an older female. Is this your mother?
No, my mother's still alive.
Would it be? It's older female.
Grandmother.
Yeah, my grandmother's passed away, but he never met her because I had him when I was older, and
well, he sure has now, because
okay.
there's also somebody else. There's somebody else that he did know that's older. Grandmother is there, but there's somebody else that knows your family or is connected to your family, may not have been blood related, that he's connecting to as like, hey, they're here too. Like I'm meeting all of them.
Any name or no name? No name.
No, I don't have a name, but she also passed by cancer. It was cancer.
That was my grandmother. So
okay, so maybe this is your grandmother then. Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. Tell him I love him and I miss him.
He can hear you. He can hear you.
Okay.
And actually, he's sitting right in front of you right now.
Okay.
So he's right in front of you, and that's what he wants me to tell you. He just says, "I love you, Mom."
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
No problem.
Okay.
Oh, it's such a horrible reminder.
Yes.
Oh, okay. We're going to take somebody from the 321 area code. Hi there. How you doing?
Hi. How are you? It's Shannon from Florida.
Hi, Shannon.
My friend's cat's been missing. They moved. Recently moved over the summer, and they've been really stressed. The cat's name is Mia, and they're just wondering is she gonna come back home or be found alive or not alive? They don't know. They're just going the black and white cat Mia.
Okay, I was just gonna say, I got black. I got black. So is there more black than white on the cat?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so the first thing that Erik is saying, the cat, okay, so he just wants to address, I don't know how the cat got out, but he's talking about that they're missing, your friend that's missing them is blaming themselves.
Yes.
And he says, don't blame yourself, because sometimes they get out for different reasons that you can't stop. Things happen. Animals will leave sometimes when they're not feeling well. And also, I don't know if this cat was fixed or not, but this has something to do with prowling, looking for other cats.
Right.
If you get what I mean, wanting to find another cat. What he's saying is, yes. He says, ask for help, ask for guidance to help direct the cat back. He's actually saying to tell your friend to speak to the cat, actually connect to the energy of the cat to help bring the cat back. But he says, he's saying to put out flyers.
Yeah, they have that.
He also says there's the cat is going to, and I don't feel that this is happening quite yet, but the cat is in somebody's hands and going to go into somebody else's. So somebody will have the cat, caring for the cat. So don't give up putting flyers out and continue to check your local shelters.
Oh, thank you.
Only because people are going to be calling, and the cat's not going to go in the shelter. There's somebody going to be calling saying, is there anybody looking for a cat that's like this?
Okay.
So
she's still alive.
Don't give up about it.
So Mia
she's
is
still
alive, right?
All right, thank
you.
Yeah,
she's alive. She's alive.
Thank you, Michelle.
You're welcome, hon. What's that?
Somebody's hand right.
It's
far
away she's gone
from her owner.
She's been gone a month now, I think.
Yeah, she's not. She's the way I'll explain it is on the other side of town, because whoever had her first, it's she's been passed to somebody else, because there's a reason why somebody couldn't keep her. It's they wanted to keep her, and they may have allergies or something, and they passed her on to somebody else. So somebody wanted to keep her as a pet. Said, oh, this is a really nice cat. But the second people are going to be the ones that are going to be looking for the owner.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Thank God. I know she's.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
I understand the pain. So good luck.
Oh yeah.
Good luck.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll let you guys know as soon as she comes back. Thank you. Thank you, Lisa. All right. Have a
good Jen.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, let me see here. We have somebody from the 267 area code. 267. Hi there. How you doing?
Hey, this is Jessica from Pennsylvania.
Hi, Jessica.
Hey, so I'm still on the search for my house, or like receiving it. It's been already a couple months, and I've been bouncing from place to place. I spoke to you before about this, and I'm in a place that I really don't like, and I'm having trouble keeping my energy and my thoughts like clear. And I got the idea of like, I might as well just get a job so then I can show income also, because people keep asking for that. But it's like making me real depressed, because then it's like I'm kind of putting my whole healing stuff to the side, which is I'm not really, but like it's just a means to an end. But I just feel so like upset and miserable in this situation that I can't seem to like figure out how to get myself out of it. I know I need to keep my mind straight, but I'm really having trouble doing that.
Okay, Jessica, the first thing that Erik says, and he's going to give you a couple things for you to look at. You're going to find a house. Okay, that's going to happen. He says what you're experiencing right now is actually very common, and I'm sure many people that are listening can understand this, because many of us are going through this process of being so close to what it is that we are, our next step, like the next step in what we're doing. And there's Erik says it's like a sense of exhaustion. And he says this is the part that we have to push through. But he says it's not pushing through with action. It's pushing through with your own personal balance. Because he says he wants to bring forward a couple things. He says one is, and I don't know what it is about people around you, but he says it's like you're seeing houses or seeing things that you like, and he says that there's that feeling of I don't have what I want, or I wish I had this. And he says, and some of that kind of comes up with the frustration. But he says the most important thing you can do right now is, he says, take care of how you feel. And he says, I know that seems a little bit like off the track, but he says that's how you're going to create balance, and that's what's going to give you that sense of surrender to attract this home in, because it's already been created. So what he means by that is energetically you've done everything that you need to do for this to manifest into your reality. The reason why it feels held off is because you're vibrationally needing to match with it. And he says it really does come down to a vibrational game at the end of the day. So he says by you paying attention to it always does. It always does. He says listen to things, and like he's actually saying, I don't know, do you listen to Abraham Hicks?
Well, that's the guidance I've been getting all day of like I really need to be firm on this. Like take naps and meditate and then listen to that and focus that on that only. Yes.
Because he says that's what he's saying, because he's telling me, tell her Abraham Hicks, because he says, listen to that. And he says, I want you to go to bed tonight and listen to it. Find a video or something to listen to that connects to your manifestations and to how you feel. He says, I want you to wake up tomorrow morning and listen to it again. He says, like a rampage, listen to the rampage. And he said, I want you to do that. And he goes, and you are going to see that it's going to help you surrender and balance. And he says, before you know it, you are going to be putting those keys in your door.
Oh,
he says, because it's coming.
Imagine that feeling of getting the keys from the realtor and all that.
Well, so a lot of things are coming up related to like how I went through a similar thing like years ago. So I'm trying to like do a lot of forgiveness around that I'm like sort of, I guess.
He says that's what that is he says that's a cycle he goes, that happened to be able to show you what happened once before and what are you going to do differently this time. That's what we do when it's like a mirror of what we experience when we're moving from one cycle to another. So he says that's showing up for you to be able to say, and now I know differently. Now I can do this differently.
All right. Well, thank you for calling. We're going to go on.
Thank you.
To the next call.
Thanks.
You're so welcome.
Thanks.
It's going to work out for her. I just know it.
Oh, it's
All
definitely
right.
going to. He's saying it without doubt. It's going to work out, and she'll be telling us. So make sure she calls back in and tells us.
Yes, please. 757 area code. Hi there. How you doing?
Hello, good evening. This is Andre from Virginia Beach.
Hello.
I would like to say thank you. Yes, I would like to thank you guys, for all what you guys do. I really appreciate it. And I have a question to Erik. I've been going through a lot of stuff, and during the hard time, I kind of consolidate my energy and kind of push through. But when it's getting a little easy, I tend to self-sabotage myself. And I'm wondering if Erik has any practical advice how to deal with self-sabotage. Thank you.
Oh, great question for a lot of people.
That is a really good question. Okay, let's see what he's got to say here. Well, Erik says, this is the thing. He goes, because you're dealing with something that is connected to discipline, which is he says it's about the intention. So when you look at the self-sabotage, he says what that is for you is, he says, when you're going forward, it's your mind that's bringing up things that are telling you different, or that, you're, say, not following through with whatever, because he says discipline. So whatever it is that you're trying to do, he says it's like not being able to put in the energy or the discipline. He says, with what you are going to accomplish, he says, what you need to do is, he says, get out a piece of paper and write down what your goals are and prioritize only the first two right now, 2 of them. He says, put them down on paper, and he goes, and what I want you to do is a little exercise with this. And he says, take the first one and put, why do I want this? What is the reason why I want this? And he says, and then he goes, I want you to keep backing it up until you get to the point where you can't answer or ask any more questions. Why do you want this? What is this going to give me? What's my intention behind this? What is the result that I'm looking for? What is my expectation? And he says, because by doing this, he says, this is the process of going inside and really figuring out if what it is that you're doing is really what you truly want. Because sometimes we have an idea or we think we want something and it's really not for us, or it's really not the right reasons. So he says, do a little exploration.
So we self-sabotage so we won't attain it.
That's right, because he says, is it actually self-sabotage, or is it actually not for you?
Okay, I see.
That's great advice. All right, thanks for calling in.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, got somebody from the 501 area code. Hi there, how you doing?
Hello, Miss Elisa. This is Donna Fraser.
Hey, girl. Where's my cobbler?
As soon as I can, it's coming to you.
I'm just
But anyhow, I was wondering if there was any guidance or messages for me.
Okay. Is there anything specific that you wanted guidance on?
Well, what's coming up next?
What's coming up next? Okay.
What do you have against surprises? I'm kidding.
Well, Erik's talking about commitment. What are you having some kind of a commitment, or are you sealing a deal with somebody in some way?
Oh, Yeah.
Is this a relationship?
No, well, I'm trying to get out of a relationship.
Ah, okay. Are you trying to move?
I would love to, yes.
Okay. All right. Hold on here. Because Erik says that there's going to be some opportunities come up in June. Now, he says it might come up as something that may not look like it's real easy, but what he's saying is get away from what's being projected towards you from somebody else. And he's saying like some negative thoughts about you of somebody else. He says, get away from that, get out of that energy so that you can think and breathe clearly, because there is a signing, like a commitment, signing of papers, being able to move into a new direction. And it may not mean that in June you're actually moving, but it's that opportunity coming up to start that ball rolling.
That's awesome.
That is very awesome. I love y'all.
Love y'all. Love you. Love you more. I just love her voice. It's so awesome.
I do too. I want her peach cobbler.
Me too. Peach cobbler's my favorite. All right, 910 area code. Hi there. How are you?
Hello. You just love us country girls, don't you?
Oh yeah. I'm a country girl myself. I'm not a city girl. I am a country girl.
Belinda from North Carolina.
What is your first name?
Belinda.
Oh, Belinda. Hi, Belinda.
Hi. I have a question about my hands.
What's your health?
They say I have carpal tunnel. And I'm throwing I can hold something, and next thing I know, I'm throwing it across the room. And I'm scared of surgery because I've had 3 back surgeries, and the last one was 9.5 hours, and I didn't wake up good. I was on fire. They couldn't cool me down. And I'm scared, but is there something I can do with my hands without surgery?
If you have carpal tunnel, I'll tell you
myself.
Check with your own doctor. Check with your own doctor. But what seems to work very well is vitamin B6, like 50 milligrams a day. And you can also add
they
something
wouldn't tell me nothing like that. They said surgery.
But they want to get money from you, and they want to operate.
I know.
This is the surgery to operate. But also ask your family practitioner to give you Maxide or some potassium-sparing diuretic, some fluid pill. The B6 seems to help a lot. Plus a splint, a wrist splint that you can wear at night to put your wrist in the what we call anatomical position. That can really do wonders. So anyway, think of that, and then I would do that before surgery. I had carpal tunnel.
Believe me, I want to.
Exactly that.
Yeah. But I'm just amazed that I sit here and throw my phone. I'm gonna break it one day.
Well, and that makes sense because Elisa, what Erik was saying was like cleansing, like a detox, like cleansing the system. And so that to add to that, do a detox, like a detoxifying, like whether it's juicing or the medical medium has some awesome detoxifying, like metals and. There's something Erik's also saying about energetically, what's caught in that area is connected to guilt. And there's some past life stuff in there too, in there as well. So a lot of those things that you could work on to and he says you got to have some patience as well because there's some belief system that's connected in there also from past life. So have some patience, but there's a lot that you can do before you would have to go to surgery.
Okay, I'm on a lot of medications. Would medications hinder that?
Say that again?
I'm on a lot of medications. Would medications hinder the cleansing, that I cleanse and still have to take all the medication?
I'm not sure. I mean, it would probably depend on the medications.
Well, what Eric's saying is it's like flushing, so that might be part of it too, because he was showing me the liver, so just like all the medications and stuff. Like, you'd have to kind of look at what the if you look at that, if there's any cleanse that you want to do, like check with your doctor because of your medications, of course. But you're also welcome to email me and ask a question to ask Erik to kind of look into it. And give you some advice on that as well.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's amazing how much I'm connected to past lives. Like so many people with neck pain or throat cancer, whatever, they were hanged. Actually, the problem in another life. So if you have not had the main portal service, if you did not have it on or after February 22nd, when we added the past life, the blocking of Bluetooth over the lives, then you might want to consider that too. So,
Elisa, that's right. I got to say this. What Erik just showed me was the past life for you was you were convicted of a crime and your hands were tied behind your back, right around your wrist. And he says, and like you were confined for a long period of time. So I'm sorry, I just had to jump in it because the visual that he gave me was very clear. Yeah.
Well, then
that would do it.
Yeah.
You probably need to do that. All right, sweetie. Take care, baby.
Thank you. Love you.
Thanks.
I love you. If you want to see a list of your medications, I can look at it from an internist standpoint, perspective if you want. But of course, anything I say, you need to talk to your health care provider about.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I will.
All right, darling.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. I love her. All right.
Yes.
727 area code. Hi there.
Hi, this is Kate. How are you?
Hi.
What is your first name again?
Kate.
Oh, Kate. All right, Kate. Hi, Kate.
Hi, that was such a lovely reading that you did.
Aw, she's awesome, isn't she?
Yes.
Now, it's your turn to get some help.
Thank you. So, anything that you pick up, that Erik picks up for the next 90 days, please.
Where are you from, sweetie? I don't know.
Florida.
Oh, Florida. Okay.
Living in Florida.
Kate, Erik said you've got some fun coming up. Are you planning something? Are you planning, because he says you're working on something or working towards something. Are you planning something, I don't know if a vacation or, are you a teacher?
I consider myself a lifelong learner and educator. I have taught, amongst many other things, from kindergarten to university.
Wow.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, he says you got something real fun coming up.
Maybe
and
you just don't know about
what that is. Yeah, well, that's just it. You may not know about it yet because he's talking about there's things that you have done. So sometimes we do things in our life that we're it's like we're putting something in an energetic basket of what we give towards ourselves and to others, and we reap these rewards, these things that are just good for us, that are fun. And he says that basket is unfolding in the month of June for you. So he says you got something fun coming up. Something just for you.
Take me with you. Wherever it is, take me with you, please.
Yes. Yes.
Let's have a girls' trip.
Well, certainly energetically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any sort of any indicators as to geographics or the the setting?
Gotta say, it feels like you're staying in the state of Florida, but it's the people that you're with. It's whatever you're doing with the people, the people that you're connected to, because it feels very purposeful. Whether people are coming to you, and but you're not in your home. He's showing. I'll tell you the visual he's giving me is he says, think of like a spa. Think of something, not that it is a spa, but it's something that is relaxing. But there's connection for you.
Isla Bella in Marathon. That's a beautiful place that I had.
Oh, that is beautiful.
I was there. All right.
But
well,
if there's
whatever
somebody
it is,
you haven't seen in a while, there's somebody coming to see you.
All right.
Mhm.
All right. Get out your friend list and start making some calls. Girl trip.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Okay. I just have such a reverence for teachers. I mean, to me, it's like I always tell soldiers, thank you for your service. And, you know, I think that I really need to start doing that too. Thank you for your service.
Yes.
It's often a thankless
She's
job,
got a real strong, beautiful teacher's energy.
Oh, my gosh. She does.
Yeah.
And just, they are shepherding in our future to children.
It's so true.
It's so true. If I was not a doctor, I would have chosen to be a teacher or a nurse.
Yeah.
I would like to be a nurse.
Well, you are. You are a teacher. You are a teacher. Being a doctor, and I mean the way you've raised your children, and I mean you teach all of us all the time. So you are a teacher.
Oh, I'm learning.
And a healer.
I'm learning just as much as you are. All right, 908 Erik.
Hello, my name is Bobby P. from Manville, New Jersey. I lost a pearl when I was young. I don't know how I lost it. It has 2 diamonds on the side. I just wanted to know if Erik could please locate it for me. Tell me where it is.
What? Sorry, what is it again? A what?
A pearl ring with 2 diamonds on the side. I lost it when I was young, and I want to know where it is.
Was it given to you in a relationship?
No, I bought it. I really liked it. I saved up money and I bought it.
Oh.
Well, I'll tell you what Erik's showing me is that it was lost outside of your, like, not in a home. It's like being lost off of you. Because he shows it in somebody else's hands.
On someone else's finger?
Mhm.
Oh,
did that
okay.
It's like he caught it because he says sometimes we have things that we're very drawn to and we love, and we're like guardians for it for just a period of time. And it ends up moving on to somebody else because it might be an energetic frequency or it vibrates out of our reality. And now he says you can manifest something just like it, if not better, into your reality. And what he's showing me is something coming because he says that you're able to manifest abundance, and that's what your higher self is helping you with right now. And there's also, if you're not in a relationship, you're either growing into one or like one's expanding, or you're about to have a relationship because there's something in the love line for you.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I love you, Erik. I love all of you guys. Thank you.
Wait,
I'm so happy to hear that.
Wait, don't go away. I want to ask you a question. Bobby, is your last name starts with a P-H?
Correct. That's
P?
me.
Hey, so did somebody and then take it, or did someone steal it? I just need to know that.
I just lost it. It slipped out of my finger somehow. Like maybe when I was walking to work in the parking lot.
Yes, it was outside. Yes,
so somebody
it was outside.
They just found it and took it.
Somebody picked
it up. Yeah, but I'm just happy that they're taking good care of it and that they're wearing it.
Yes.
I just don't want it to be like melted away or you know what I mean?
It's on somebody's finger. It's on somebody's finger. I
hope they're really happy, and I hope they enjoy it, and I hope they love it, and I hope they take good care of it forever.
And that's it. And you will have one that is even more beautiful than that one. That's what's coming. So Erik just says, play with your manifestations and create your dream ring, because that and your relationship is on its way.
Oh, thank you, Erik. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to hear that. Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome.
That's exciting. She's so lovely.
It is.
All right, so we've got somebody from the 209 area code.
Oh, my goodness.
Hi.
Hello? Hi.
Hello.
This is Stacy from California.
Hi, Stacy.
Hi. I just wanted to know if there's any messages for me, anything coming. I had COVID in April, and I have been feeling like so different lately, like more peaceful. It's like something's changing, and I think I had a conversation with Erik about my clothes.
You did.
Yeah, I thought I was going crazy. I'm like, okay, I'm losing it, and I walked away. But then something was posted on the YouTube channel about exactly what I had the conversation about. So.
Yes, he says that you did. He's also saying that your because he says you have the ability to communicate. He's also saying that there is a shift happening, and part of the shift that has started, he says, like an awakening. You had a little shift prior to that, but
yes, I did.
The one that you're going through right now is again a slightly different one. You're going to start to notice. You're going to feel different, and you're going through that right now. He's also talking about relationship. Did you have a relationship change?
Oh God, I have. That's another whole story. I'm in love with somebody, and it was my best friend's widow, and it's just.
Okay.
I have two people that I'm. Any ideas on that would be awesome.
Well, he's saying to you, like have patience. He says be patient with things, because he says that conflict that you're feeling there, that's gonna shift out, because you've got a lot of different he says, let's say, a lot of different baskets of things going on right now, and he says that have patience with yourself, because one, you're moving into your purpose in service with humanity.
Nice.
And so he says that's part of what you're shifting in from having COVID. The second thing is you're moving into a relationship, that it is heading in that direction. And he's calling this a soulmate connection. And he says it's okay to not see clearly with this right now. He says be real patient with it and be real gentle with yourself right now.
Yeah, he's in love with somebody else that is in jail, and there's just this connection between us, and I really think my best friend pushed us together.
Yeah. He says he says you intuitively know a lot more than what you'll allow yourself to believe.
Oh,
so
wow.
He says it's okay. It's okay to go with those hunches that you have. And Erik is popping around you like crazy.
Yeah, I love him.
Awesome.
But that freaked me out. I'm like, I'm going crazy.
No, you're not going crazy. Keep helping her. I know Stacy. She's awesome. We're going to run into the other show, so I got to close. I'm so sorry, guys.
All right, thank you. I love you guys.
You're welcome.
I love you more. All right, check out the amazing Michelle Ray at thehealing-art.com. Love you all. Bye.
Love you. Erik says love you, Mom.
Bye.
Love you. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.